Hey, Ogunshi, this is a response to your questions. By the way, first of all, I want to say those are some great questions. This is Will Grade 42, and here's how I would answer them. Alright, the first one. Have you ever been in a LARP? This is, of course, not counting the SCA. And I actually ran a 42-man White Wolf vampire game in Berkeley back in '95. So, on that one, yeah, I've done one. Number two, if you're on a desert island and you could only take 5 things with you, what would they be? Well, let's start off with the point that you are saying a desert island. And since you are picking the type of island I'm on, and it's a desert island, I've made a little bit of liberties with the answers. And the first one is, well, if you're going to put me on a desert island, that's salt water and sand, the first thing I would want is a bottle of water that never runs out. The second thing that I would want is a cell phone. The third thing I would want is a GPS tracker, so I can call someone and say, here's where I'm at. Now, if you give me a tropical island, I'll give you a completely different answer. And for the tropical island, my answer is, what I would want is a really good knife, a Boy Scout manual. Funny enough, I was in the Boy Scouts. The merit badges in wilderness survival and pioneering are amazingly helpful for you to build a hut and a hammock and a latrine and all those different things that you might need. And to be honest, I haven't been in the Boy Scouts in, say, 20 years. So I'd like my Boy Scout manual back so I can remember how to do all that stuff. The next one would be a bolt of heavy material. Now, a bolt of heavy material can be used for many, many things, including stretcher if need be, hammock. Now, mind you, when I say stretcher, you know, safer points being you kill a wild boar, now you gotta drag it back to camp. Well, dragging it back to camp might involve using some sort of lean-to or a stretcher of some type where some heavy material would be helpful. Hammock, tent. During the rainy season, you're gonna want something a little bit more heavier than cotton to keep you dry. The next thing I have for my 4th item is a large tarp. Now, a large tarp can be faked in tropical with leaves and so on and so forth, but if there isn't any fresh water on the island, I would need some way to take water, boil it, it evaporates, and then it collects on something, and when it rolls down, it's water and you can drink it. And so I would want something along those lines. Now, for the 5th item, I would put some time and effort, because after that I'm like, well, then I'm covered, you know. What else could I really need? And I'm like, well, I'm on a tropical island. I should consider possibly something like a good pair of shoes that I will use for a long period of time, something that I can, you know, climb up onto the rocks and so on and get my bearings. So instead of just coming up willy-nilly with something, even though I know how to make fire without a source of fuel, such as like a lighter or something, I am going to be kind of cheesy and say a lighter, because the first couple nights are going to suck until I can get things going. Next question. If you're going to live during the 1100s, you're going to get sent back in time there, and you're stuck there, and you get 10 items. What would they be and why? Well, oh yeah, Europe, 1100. Bearing that in mind, my very first item on the list is a Bible. I know how far you're going to get in the 1100s without one, and so that goes right on the top of my list. The next one's going to be, once again, is going to be a good knife. Amazing tool, a knife, and would rather have one. Any sort of currency, money, I mean, if I'm going to go back in time, liquidate everything I own, and turn it all into bulk gold. That currency is good no matter what time period you're in. The next one is cheating, and I know this, but it's modern day items. And see, most of my items here, you'd be able to find there. See, once again, 1100s Europe. Let's not get burned. Let's not be considered a Satan worshiper or any sort of devil creator, and they want to know where that iPod came from. Alright? But I would bring a gun. situation may come up that the people turn ugly, you're using phrases they don't recognize, and they get scared, and they're going to mob you. I want a way out. And I don't mean a way out, I mean I want a way out. But that's the only reason I would ever use it. For hunting, I would use means that are of the time period. The next one is a pair of leather shoes. Leather clothes, and also as another item, a pair of really good leather boots. Yes, I understand I could find these items here, but let's not go wandering around into medieval Europe naked going, yeah, I'm from another time. Bad idea, Janes. Okay. The next thing I want is a history book of the era. To be honest, I don't know who was king and queen in Europe in the 1100s, and I would want to know. So a little bit of history might go a long, long way, might keep me alive a little bit longer. Also, I would like a time-proper atlas, so I know how to navigate the best that I can as soon as I arrive, because I'm assuming I'm not going to get dumped off in the middle of town. That would be a bad idea. Once again, mob. A wooden chest. These are to put the items that shouldn't belong in this time period in, and it doesn't get opened unless I'm by myself. And my last item, I would bring my best friend Mikey with me. He would love that. Next question. You have the choice between 1,000 people on the other side of the world that you're never going to meet dying, or one of your close friends or family, and you have to choose. Which one would it be and why? This actually comes really, really simple. The answer is one of my close friends and family. The reason why? Half of my good friends and family would offer. They would take the greater good, and they would say, take me to let those 1,000 live. I know some really freaking great people. The next one is live forever, but ugly. And I mean ugly. I mean, this is bad, but I mean like, ugly. The answer to this is simple as well. I don't want to live forever. I have no intention. Making me ugly as well, just icing on the cake for that point. Okay, you're walking down the street, minding your own business. You come across $10,000. You look around. There ain't nobody there. You can just pick it up and walk off with it. Would you take it? And why? And what would you spend it on? Well, the answer is, yeah, I'd take it. Not only would I take it, but I would look up into the universe and go, thank you! Thank you so much for dropping this in my lap. What would I spend it on? I would probably spend it on those who are close to me. I know that sounds kind of cheesy and corny, but if you've ever seen any of my videos, you know I'm cheesy and corny. Had to do with whether or not I believe in a higher power. The answer is yes. I do believe in a higher power. First of all, we're all one. That's not a metaphor. People keep taking it as a metaphor, which I find hilarious. Let me put it this way. Favorite points being, you are someone who gives homage to Allah, or you give homage to Yahweh, or Anubis, or Zeus, or whatever. In the end, it's all the same thing. It's the same entity, it's just a different way of looking at it, a different name, a different understanding of it, because all of us have an individual path that we must take, and some paths are different than others, and so there are different roads to take to find what you're looking for. But something that is difficult to try to explain, but hopefully will be understood with this. God is not out there. He's in here. He's inward. You have to look inward to find God, not outward. That's one of the big secrets of the universe. He's not out there, because he's not. He's in all of us. That's that whole omnipresent thing. We are all one.